Hey, thanks for joining me. This is Tarot by Tamara. I'm Tamara, and today we're going to be discussing the Nine of Cups. I'm using the Rider-Waite deck, also known as the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. In tarot, the suit of cups relates to the element of water. It refers to our emotions, our intuition, our relationships, our subconscious, our feelings, our spirituality, and our love. You may have heard the cups referred to as chalices or even goblets. If you were using playing cards to read tarot, you would use the hearts to represent the cups. If you're looking for a time frame for the cups, think more along the months time frame. In numerology, the number 9 means fulfillment, completion, wisdom, and enlightenment. This is an excellent time for you to pause the video and just take a look at the card and think about how it makes you feel. What are your first impressions of the card? Are they good? Are they bad? Are they happy? Are they sad? What do you think this guy is thinking? If he was to come to life right now, what would he be doing? What would he say? Those are always questions I like to ask myself every time I look at a new card, and it helps me to really connect to the card. And that's really important when you're learning. Okay, so looking at the Nine of Cups, obviously we have this gentleman dressed in a white robe, sitting on a bench. We have the raised stand behind him, covered in a blue cloth, and holding the 9 cups. Traditionally, the 9 of Cups upright really speaks about abundance, success, victory, having your wishes fulfilled, realizing your dreams coming true, and overcoming the difficulties that were placed in front of you. Some key words to help you remember the 9 of Cups are comfort, contentment, and confidence. Okay, so let's go ahead and break down the 9 of Cups and really get to know each of the symbols included in this card. I really want to start with the fact that this card has such a large amount of the color yellow in it. To me, the yellow is speaking to this being such a very happy card. It's one, it's very positive. It's joyful. It's just a warm card. The fact that this card has a lot of blue in it as well, you know, blue being the other major color in it, it makes me feel like this is a very spiritual card and one full of wisdom. The fact that his robe is all white speaks to the purity behind this card. We have his hat, which is red. Red stands for passion and ambition, desire, confidence, passion, determination, and power. If you look towards the bottom of the card, you'll see his shoes. They're brown in color, which speaks to me about stability and really being grounded, like down to earth. I also wanted to point out that his socks are red. And again, red being action and passion and determination and desire, tucked nicely inside his stable brown shoes. So you'll also see that the bench he is sitting on is brown. And again, it's kind of like a double trouble situation right there, because the bench itself speaks about stability, as well as the brown color speaking about stability. So you just really have, you see that he's really seated on a very sturdy foundation. So what he's gaining in this phase of his life came from the foundation he built. It's strong. His structure is strong. If you'll notice his posture, more specifically his lap and the way his legs are open like they are, that really speaks about confidence, but kind of also more of an arrogance to him. Now take a look at his crossed arms. To me, that speaks about him closing himself off to others. He's defensive. He may feel like everything he has, he acquired by himself, and is really too stubborn to see anything different. Now let's talk about the display case behind him. You'll notice it is very large and kind of towering over him as he sits there. The fact that this display case is raised so high behind him makes me feel as though he has an abundance of happiness floating around him. He's elated. He's on the moon. This is, it really just speaks to the strong emotions behind this card. It could also be speaking about taking things to the next level, going higher, climbing the ladder, that type of situation. The fact that the cups are displayed on the shelf the way they are really speaks to me about the success behind this card, about how happy he is to have reached his goals. I wanted to point out one more thing about his clothing. His expensive looking outfit tells me that this is a card of success. If you'll notice the feathers in his hat, feathers are often thought as messages from heaven. So in this card, I relate these feathers to kind of like his prayers being answered